right now, our assessment leads us to conclude that these are lawful and legal aviation activities, manned and unmanned drones and civil aviation aircraft or commercial aircraft.
So let's talk a little bit about drones, because, you know, there are these little baby drones. So you can see that one. This is like a toy drone that is as small as you can have. And that drone, you know, you could fly it for a couple of minutes. Again, this is really, really small. But then there are, you know, these drones, which are really popular. And these are like the under 249 gram drones, which means that you don't have to be registered with the FAA. Can I catch that? No. But these aren't the drones we're talking about. We're talking about drones that some people say are as large as a small car. Joining us now, NBC's Maya Eaglin. Maya, it's great seeing you. And Jamie Jacobs, Executive Director, Oklahoma Aerospace Institute for Research and Education, and a professor at Oklahoma State University. So, Maya, let's begin with this whole issue. More and more drones, again, not like this.
Right.
The huge ones. More and more drones being sighted, and more questions are being asked. What's the latest on that?
The latest we have is from John Kirby on the Today Show this morning. He reiterated that there's no active threat to the American public at this time. Most of what people are reporting are actually commercial drones, military drones, police drones. Some of them could be recreational drones as well. He said the FBI has had over 5,000 reports of these drone sightings. Only 100 of those reports have actually led to further investigation. So he really wanted to put some calm to the American public, saying there's not much to worry about. Other local officials like New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer, still a little bit concerned. Here's what some of he had to say.
There are postings of sightings all over the internet. Some of them true, and others, I'm concerned, are being posted by others to scare people. That's why I'm setting up on my website a new page where people from New Jersey can share information on tips on their latest drone sightings.
Gottheimer also really trying to encourage an effort to create an air traffic control system for drones specifically. So we'll be monitoring that as well.
Yeah, and so, Jamie, let's talk about this because, look, drones are a part of life. Fortunately or unfortunately, we've been seeing proliferation of these, you know, under 249 drones and so many others. But what is it that you think has been happening in the past 3 weeks? What are people seeing?
Well, I think it really just comes to the point that, you know, people have a really hard time identifying things that they see in the night sky. And drones, just like any other aircraft, have navigation lights on board. And it's really difficult to determine a sense of scale, both distance and size of the vehicle, when you're looking at it, particularly at night. And these are mostly misidentifications from everything that we've seen. And our research really backs this up, that it's hard for even professionals to be able to identify, you know, the difference between a drone and an aircraft during the evening.
Yeah, okay. But so correct me if I'm wrong, because if you do fly drones, you know, over 249 grams, you do have to register it. Even an under 249 gram, the FAA is happy to register it and you know, when you fly any size drone, you still have to go on and essentially ask for a flight plan, right? I mean, is it impossible for the FAA to track these larger drones that may be up there for more than, you know, 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's really difficult because these systems are very small. And like you mentioned, you know, a drone pilot that's operating under FAA guidelines should have both registered their drone. It should have remote ID on board that allows it to be tracked, but they should also be a licensed Part 107 or private pilot. And so many of these cases are not malicious, they're just careless actors. People have gone out, they've bought a drone off, you know, from Best Buy or Amazon, and they're out flying it, you know, at night without realizing really what's going on. And then you kind of pile on. People start mentioning this on social media. And, you know, some of the drone operators said, hey, I think I'll join in on the fun and see what I can do just to stir the pot.
Yeah, and then there's, of course, the concern of maybe this is all part of a movement, something that starts like that, but that maybe malicious actors could join in. And what's the White House asking Congress to do about this?
So we saw this joint statement with several federal organizations today, the DoD, FBI, posted on the FAA's website today. It says in part, they're asking Congress to expand existing counter-drone authorities and help identify threats. So really trying to push Congress to set up a new task force potentially, or pass some laws that grant more authorities to not only the federal government, but the local entities that are involved in these investigations as well.
I just don't know how much more stuff you need, regulations and authorities and investigating councils. I mean, this stuff is registered. There is a way to find out if they are car-sized things. You should be able to figure it out. And I'm just wondering, Jamie, how big can drones be? And you know, we're talking about commercial, military, et cetera, but I'm just talking about, for the majority of people, how big can a drone be?
Yeah, most of these operations are going to be 55 pounds and below. You need special permission to be able to go much larger than that, but 55 pounds is still really large for a drone. And, you know, I doubt most of these are even within that particular scale. But when we're talking about things such as advanced air mobility or urban mobility, we're really now talking about things that will carry people, and they will be, you know, the size of small cars to be able to do that. Now, the threat still exists, and, you know, we don't have a great way to track these really small drones. So if you are a malicious actor, and this is, you know, one of the reasons why I think it goes back that these are just careless, the first thing you would do is turn off your navigation light so you couldn't be seen. And it'd be really hard to spot you at nighttime if you don't have your lights on board. But, you know, there is risk, and we have to be aware of that there is a potential threat. I just don't think that's the case.
True,
right
but
now.
if you create confusion by turning on the lights and, you know, blanketing the area, then that is a way of maybe getting, you know, the ones without lights in as well, under the, you know, confusion that's created by so many of these questions. Maya Eaglin and Jamie Jacob, thank you both so very much. I have this little collection here of all baby drones, but these, you know, you just can't see this at night. If this doesn't have any lights, you can't see it. And this one, you know.
You can hold it in your hand.
There it goes.